in their lifestyle. So what kind of lifestyle are people promoting inside a business atmosphere or a sedentary one? One of that is stale, still. And so I definitely put a lot of poses and types of classes that will counteract that stillness and to help promote, the positive vata energy to help keep their body and their prana moving. But then aside from that, different ailments are associated with different doshas, such as if someone suffers from panic attacks, which is a common thing that I get, that is normally a vata aggravation. So we do poses and breathing exercises to help alleviate that.
Oh, wonderful. About how you bring it to the office. So are there certain poses that you introduce them to that they could do at their cubicles and at their desk?
Yeah, absolutely. There are certain poses that we will always get to when it comes to things that you could do at your desk, in between the classes that we held at the office. And I'll just show you one of the poses that we do. It's called cow face pose. It's actually in Sanskrit. It's called Gokumakasana.
I'll keep to the cow face pose. That's the easier one to remember.
Most people do. So you're going to bring your right hand, you're going to put it over your head.
Okay.
And then you're going to take your left hand, you're going to put it behind you, and you're just kind of going to reach for your hand. And whether or not you can reach your hand makes no difference. Really what's important is that you're opening up your spine, bringing your heart forward, letting your shoulders draw back, and it really just alleviates a lot of tension and pain and stiffness that so often comes to our neck and shoulders.
Oh yeah, I feel that. That feels great. I'm going to use this one.
Make sure you do it on the other side too.
Okay.
Because yoga and Ayurveda is about balancing your lifestyle, and so in a very simple way, you just want to make sure that whatever you do to one side, you want to do to the other side.
Yes, less visits to the chiropractor.
That's
we do both sides. So you also mentioned about breathing. So are there certain breath works that you do for different doshas?
Absolutely. For example, there's the breath of fire, which is going to create heat. And I should say that the breath of fire is good for everyone, but there are pitta personality and body types that are going to want to avoid an excess of that.
Okay.
And there's also a cooling breath. And inversely, you would want the vata and kapha doshas to not have an excess of that. And that's really simple terms. There's a lot more in pranayama that happens.
What is the cooling breath? I'm just curious. What would that be like? So I'll know that when I get kind of frazzled up, what can I use for my breathing?
Okay. Well, can you loop your tongue like this?
Oh no, I don't think so. I can attempt to.
Okay, that's okay. For people who can't do that, I'm actually glad that you couldn't, so I can show people who can't do that. You're going to want to bring the tip of your tongue to the back of your tooth.
Okay.
Like this. And then you're just going to inhale through your mouth and exhale through your nose. So what you're doing is you're inhaling warmth, you're exhaling through your nose. And it's amazing if you do that 5 or 6 times, your body will feel cooler. You don't actually need to do it that often.
Thank you. What a wonderful tip. Gosh, another one from my, thank you.
And really this is just the tip of the iceberg, because I don't want people to think, as they so often do, that yoga is just for your body any more than the heating and the cooling breath is just for your body. Yoga is a form of medicine centered on God or self-realization, however you want to say it. God realization or self-realization. And so this is why we're balancing our lifestyle so that we can cultivate a union with the universe, with God, however you want to say it. And it is in doing that that we attain true, perfect mind and body health. And so when I show you poses that will help open up your shoulders, that's wonderful. That's an excellent benefit. But it's also going to do a lot of other things that, in the context of a whole practice, will help cultivate a much greater form of healing.
And how were you first introduced to yoga?
Actually, I was introduced in a gym. As I think I mentioned earlier, I worked full time, and then I went to a gym. I went to a yoga class because, to be honest, I hated working out. Whenever I went there, I would leave exhausted. I would leave like feeling I never did enough, and I would often leave feeling like I didn't even know what I was doing. It felt so unnatural for me. And then I took a class in a gym, and it ended up me thinking that, hey, I like this. I'm going to try more of this. And my original inspiration for becoming a yoga instructor was to become certified, and then I was going to work full time, and then after work I was going to teach yoga. So my whole plan was to work myself silly and never get a moment's rest. But after I started learning yoga, I was completely absorbed by the philosophy, and the life that I had just completely faded away, like the skin peeling off of a snake. It was just no longer part of me anymore, and without any effort of my own, it just disappeared all by itself. Now I work 10 hours a week, and I've never been happier. And I just truly love my life right now, and I have peace, and I have that full body, mind, and spirit healing in me. So yeah, absolutely. So
wow, that is wonderful.
Thank you.
It sounds like a new fill-up. It's like you were just like a rebirth. Is what it sounds like.
Amazing.
What yoga did for you.
It feels like another lifetime. So it was an excellent transformation that I went through, and I've had the privilege of helping others go through it. Not that I train people to move through their life, but once they start practicing yoga and start to understand the greater meaning of yoga, the same thing happens to them. The life that they hold around them just completely fades away and creates this brand new, beautiful, beautiful outlook on life.
I also noticed you mentioned something about a knee injury, and yoga helped you through that. Is that accurate?
Yeah, actually, when I was originally getting certified, I've had this knee problem since I was a child, and it really aggravated when I first started practicing yoga regularly, because to become certified, you have to practice yoga. All of a sudden becomes your life. I should say the physical asanas or exercises kind of become your life. And so I was really working myself to exhaustion, and that's when this injury that I've always been able to ignore really flared up, and I couldn't walk all of a sudden. And it was by pulling back and then discovering for the first time truly not just the poses, but what yoga was meant to be, a form of healing,